welcome back. This is part 3 of the Gingerbread Dollhouse live crochet along, a free event. I am so excited. There are 15 patterns included in this entire pattern, so it's a 15-in-1 pattern, and we are having so much fun crocheting all of these different parts to make your gingerbread dollhouse dream come true. And I'm already seeing some of you guys post about your gingerbread house, and I am so excited to see the rest of them. I know this is a little bit of a slower process. I think in the future I'm going to make smaller projects for live crochet alongs, but I really envision this to be like absolutely perfect, and it just came to live really well. And I know some of you guys really wanted a gingerbread dollhouse or a dollhouse in general. You could make this into a, regular dollhouse if you want, but I think it turned out great. The first thing I want to remind everyone is you do not have to crochet all 15 patterns to be part of the giveaway. You're not required to, okay? You get to decorate your gingerbread house the way you envision it, okay? You are in control of how it looks like in the end. I'm just your guide, okay? Your pattern guide, okay? I'm gonna lay it out the way I did it, and you can make adjustments according to your own preferences. And as long as you post your final image, whatever you consider to be final, on October 6th, or that's the deadline, October 6th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Pacific time, into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki with that hashtag right there. And by the way, we would love to see some progress. You can help others by posting some of your progress pictures, even if it's just a few items. Take a picture, show it off, and that way we can celebrate you as you are finishing your gingerbread dollhouse. I am so excited. And don't worry, if you don't want to crochet any of the inside parts, you can just go to, let's say, Michael's Hobby Lobby and pick up a few of the dollhouse pieces and decorate it that way. It is your gingerbread dollhouse. You get to make it the way you want to, okay? In fact, you can even change it down the road in the future and add more things to it, right? However you like. And I'm already starting to see some of you guys saying that you are loving your hubby to help you with the wood part. Maxine, I'm so happy for you. Oh, I'm so excited to see it all come together. Rachel says my wood came in today. Yes, let's go. I can't wait to see it all come together. Karen says it does need some gumdrops across the top later. Oh, I can't wait to see yours. My original, the very first gingerbread dollhouse, the very original gingerbread house that I have made, that was not a dollhouse, that one has some gumdrops. So if you need a pattern for a gumdrop, you can, check that one out. That has some gumdrops on the top. So if you need a pattern for that, you can check it out. It is a cardboard version. It's roughly the same size as this guy, roughly, not exactly. And it doesn't have 2 levels per se. It is empty on the inside. It doesn't have any openings or anything. The only thing that opens is the door. It has some windows that are see-through. So what I did is I put lights on the inside to make the entire thing light up. So that could be an option if you need some additional patterns on what to do in order to crochet it and decorate it. You can check out my other gingerbread houses that I have on my site. Okay, let's see. Was there a question? Are the walls considered items? Barbara, good question. Well, I consider the house as number 1, if that makes sense. If you count all the crochet pieces, the house is number 1. Okay, I didn't count all the house walls separately, if that's what you're asking. No. But if you want to consider it each wall one individual item, that's totally fine. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just checking if there's anything else. Okay. So let me remind you really quickly about the giveaway. Let me move that forward. There we go. Here's the giveaway information. Okay. This is just a reminder. I know you probably know about it, but in case someone jumps in, they have never heard of this before, and like now they're curious. They're like, wait, there's a giveaway happening? Yes. Let me tell you about it. Okay. So we'll have 12 winners at the end. They're going to be announced at the big party, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later, October 6th, 12 p.m. Pacific time. That is the big party. You want to attend that because not only will we have 12 winners being announced there, but we also have other surprises being announced there. So you better show up for that one. Plus, you can win just for showing up, right? All you have to do is show up, and that's for the very last part. We literally have questions during the live, and we are announcing those winners instantly. Okay, so it's like a little question, super duper easy, and you answered right there, and you have a chance to win something. Okay, so that's all you got to do is show up. So the very first part right here is you have to just sign up. So there's the link right there, or QR code. It's also in the description. You can just tap the very first link right there, and it'll take you over. All you have to do is sign up, full name, email address, you're good to go. You don't have to make a purchase or anything. Not required to be part of this, okay? Just sign up. It may provide you with an option to purchase the PDF, but again, it is an option. You're not required not to be part of this giveaway. You're not required to purchase the PDF, okay? Then the next thing is you just have to watch all 3 videos. You're here for part 3, so that's one good thing, right? So watch all 3 video tutorials that are live for this live crochet along. Answer the very last question at the very end. I just have one question there at the very end. Answer that in the comments, and you're done with that part. Just do this for all 3 videos and you're good, okay? The next part would be to finish the live crochet along however you wish. I want to remind you again, you are not required to finish it the way I did. You do it however you like. Whatever you consider to be finished, that is finished for you, at least for the giveaway part of it. As long as there's no yarn hanging off, you do it however you like for yourself, okay? If you, let's say you're going to be at the position where it's 10 minutes before, you haven't finished the chair yet, but you did everything else, take a picture, submit it, do the chair later. It's fine. Does that make sense? You do it however you like, okay? As long as you use the hashtag and you post by the deadline, October 6th, 2025, 10 a.m. Pacific time, calculate according to your time zone, then you're good to go. All right, and then we just talked about the party. That's all about that, okay? Are there any questions about the giveaway? There shouldn't be many. I've been talking about this for a few days now. It should be very straightforward, and I usually have the same kind of system each time. By the way, each of these 4 parts have 3 winners, as mentioned right there. So that's all there is to it, okay? I'll talk more about the party a little later, but let's talk about what we're focusing on today, okay? There will be 3 things we're actually crocheting today. At least I'm going to focus on the parts that are considered potentially hard. They're all easy, but I'm still going to guide you through the parts that could be considered hard if you're a beginner, okay? So we're going to go through the snowman, the picture frame, and we're going to do the chair, okay? At least the parts that are considered hard for any of those 3 items. Now, you're probably going to be like, well, hang on, there's a gingerbread in there, right? Gingerbread man and woman. We have a video for that. That's in the written pattern already. There is a video available for that. There's a video available for the little Santa sack that you see right there. There is a video available for the wreath. It is actually just like the candy cane, just instead of making the candy cane like this, right? You're making it into a circle. Same pattern, just making it into a circle in the end. That's it, okay? And then in terms of the bow, I already showed you how to do the bow. And then the very last one that we're not covering is that little teeny tiny star right there. Again, video tutorials already provided for that. So we're skipping those parts that you already have a video tutorial available because there's no point of repeating that part, right? All right, but at the very end, we'll talk a little bit more on how I decorated the rest, okay? So we'll just briefly talk about that. But again, that's the way I decorated it. You get to decorate however you want, okay? Let's see. John Roll says, my first chance to even start this. I've been working. I'm on off till tomorrow, so I'm very behind. It's totally fine if you're behind, okay? You do however you like. Remember, let me remind you really quickly here, okay? If you did at least 3 of the things right here, okay? The very first one, no crocheting required. All you have to do is sign up. Then the second one, all you have to do is watch the 3 videos and answer the questions. Again, no crocheting required. And the very last thing is just to show up up and answer some questions. Again, no crocheting required. The only one where there is crocheting required is the second part right there. All the other ones, you have 9 chances to win in case you don't finish on time. Sounds good? So don't worry about it. You can do the gingerbread dollhouse at your own pace. If you feel like you can't finish by the deadline, that's okay. Okay? You've got this. I always say if you don't finish by then, at least try to finish before Christmas so that way you can enjoy it during the Christmas time. Okay? Let's just do that. Sounds good? Okay, so let's turn around so you can see what I see. Okay, so I have my gray yarn ready. So gray, because I mentioned before, gray is a little bit easier to see on camera. I'm actually going to make it a hint brighter. I don't know. I think the sunlight just decided to change a little bit. It was brighter earlier. Anyways, I wanted to show you really quick. I finished my teddy bear, by the way. This is the one I did on camera, right? So I just sewed it together off camera because I told you I would and show it to you. And obviously mine is much bigger than the original because I told you that my tension is much looser on camera. It's still little though. It's not as little as the original. And I believe I also had tighter tension, like a lot tighter tension. I may even have used a smaller crochet hook for the original, let's say 3 or 3.5. But I thought I used a 4 and just made sure my tension is extremely tight. But again, you can just go down in hook size to make it smaller. This is a little bit bigger, but it's cute and adorable. I just wanted to show you I have a pink teddy now. Anyways, okay, so let's go into the snowman. Okay, obviously you can tell the hat is black. We're not doing that in black. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to get started right here, just the beginning part of it, because the rest of it is just single crochet stitches. So I'm just going to show you how to start this part of it. Then we're going to transition into showing you how to do this part right here. Okay, so the actual, let me call it the body. It's not really the body. It's the big snowball pretty much of the snowman, right? So this thing right here is on the back, right? It's open on the back, just letting you know. And then I'll talk about the hat briefly as well. And we're going to crochet that too. And then obviously the decoration part of it, that's up to you. This part right here, this is number 2 yarn and it's just single crochet stitches. There's no increase or decreases. So I'm skipping that part because you know how to do single crochet stitches, right? In fact, you could even just use yarn and wrap it around it if you want, right? You don't have to actually crochet it if you don't want to. Okay, so let's do that part. So let's start with the face part of the snowman, okay? So the first one you're going to have to do is you need to make a magic ring. So let me show you how to do that again. Do you guys need it a little bit brighter? I don't know what the sunlight is doing today, but it's like it keeps getting darker. I don't know, for some reason. Well, the sunlight is moving, right? Well, technically the sun is not moving. We are moving. But anyways, so here we go. You're going to make an X, okay? You're going to put your hook in and we'll pull it through. I'm using 4mm hook for everything, even though I didn't mention it, but I am. Okay, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 just to hold the magic ring in place. See, that's all it's there for. It doesn't do anything else. And I'm going to zoom in a bit because I feel like I may be too far away. Okay, now we're going to add 12 single crochet stitches to the ring. So 12, not 6, because we need the hole to be a little bit bigger, okay, in order to put that little tea light through. Now, if you don't want to add a tea light and you just want to do something else, you know, like let's say you want to add a fake carrot or crochet it or something like that, you could technically close it up and then just add something to it. You just have to close the back of it as well. Obviously, if you don't add anything like a tea light inside, I left it open because the tea light needs to be able to come out in case the battery runs out, right? So anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, let's do it again. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so the reason I did 12 is because we're not actually closing it all the way, and it's like the same thing as doing the second round because we have like a hole, right? And we want to kind of keep that hole right there. Okay, so you can do continuous rounds or you can do a slip stitch first. It's up to you as long as you keep that hole. So don't close it all the way. Okay, I'm just gonna keep the continuous round, so I'm adding here my stitch marker in, and then you're just gonna go into the first stitch right there and you're going to crochet 1 single crochet stitch, and then the next stitch is going to be 2 single crochet stitches. So as long as you keep that hole open for the tea light, you're good to go. You can even test it out to make sure your hole's not too big or too small by kind of pushing it in, right? All you have to do is kind of push it through and see, does it fit? Right? That's all you got to do. Anyways, now you're going to repeat this all the way around. So 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. Okay. Oh Lord, what's happening today? I'm keep losing my little loops. By the way, I would love to know, has anyone made a friend yet? We talked last time all about connecting with another crocheter, and that was kind of a little bit of an indirect task. Not really a task. It's more kind of, I hope you're going to connect with someone, so that way your crochet life is going to be a little bit more fulfilled and happy, and you can, connect with someone that appreciates what you do. And I feel like I missed a stitch here somewhere. Doobie doobie doo. Oh, I have 2 increases next to each other. That's what I did. Let's go back. All right. I did get a couple of emails saying that you have made a new friend. That is awesome. I'm not going to call you out on it because, that's private. But for anyone who wants to share if they made a friend, let us know. Did you connect with someone? I would love to know if you did. Community is very important, especially in the crochet community. You always want to have someone to chat to talk to, right? It's very important to have a friend. All right. So once you're done with this part right here, again, don't weave this part in yet until you're completely done. That way you can make the hole a little bit smaller or bigger if you need to, once you have your tea light in it. Okay. So once you've done like this, all you do now is rows 4. Is it 4? Oh, it's actually 3 through 7. I don't know. I think I missed the number 3. It's 3 through 7. You're going to crochet a single crochet per stitch. Okay. That's all you're doing right here. And it creates that little bit of a wall, right? And then you just fasten off and you're good to go on the face. And then you just have to decorate it, right? You can see here, I added some beads to it. You don't have to add googly eyes. You can also add just beads for that. And I just hot glued them on, or you can use E6000 or something like that and just glue those on. Just be aware, it can you can burn yourself with the hot glue. Just be careful because beads are tiny, right? But yeah, and then you're just done, right? You're just going to crochet this till the end and you're done. You put your little tea light in and you're good to go, right? And then you can adjust your hole there a little bit and weave in the rest. Okay. So, let's see. Maxine says she made a friend with Linda. Yay. It looks like, and Nancy and Linda, I think, connected as well. Let's see. And Maxine says she also met someone at Hobby Lobby and she told them all about me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully they're going to join us now. Journey. You guys are talking on the phone. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so I'm going to rip this back out right here. So that way we are now going to go into, should we do the hat first or do we do the body first? Let me see. What is on the page? Let's do the body first because that's according to my pattern. Otherwise I have to flip back around. Okay, let's do the body first. Okay. It's super easy. Super easy. Okay, so I don't know where the line is coming from. I think there's some coffee stain over here. I'm so sorry. I just realized this. Okay, well, let's ignore that. Okay, so we're gonna go again. Do a magic ring. This is for the body or the big snowball on the bottom of the snowman. Okay, you're gonna make a magic ring, chain of 1, and you're gonna add 6 single crochets to the ring. Okay, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then you're going to close your ring. This one you're going to close all the way. Okay, but again, I like to use my yarn end right here as a stitch marker. Highly recommend it. It's just dangling there anyways. Might as well use it. That way you don't have to look for another stitch marker. It's already there. Okay, then you're going to go into the next round and you're going to crochet 2 single crochet stitches per stitch all the way around. As you can see, this is extremely easy. There's nothing fancy happening here. We're just making a circle. That's really all you're doing at this point. Okay, so, and we're going to make a little bit bigger circle. I'm just going to show you a few rounds of this and then show you how to do the decreases. I'm making a smaller version because otherwise you're going to get bored and we're not going to do that. But here's the thing. You are here live, not only to qualify for the giveaway, right? But you would love to talk about if you have any questions. So if you have any questions about anything about this pattern or maybe crochet in general, this is your chance. I'm right here. I can answer the questions for you. So would you please ask me any questions you may have, either about the pattern or maybe something in crochet in general, even maybe about the community. If you have any questions about that, how to connect with someone, I don't care. You ask me. Okay, so let's go to round 3 of the body. Round 3 is going to be 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. So which means we went from 6 stitches to 12 stitches because we added 6 additional, and now we're adding 6 more, which means we're going from 12 to 18, right? So you're just adding 6 additional ones, whatever your first number is, times the amount of stitches per repeat, in case you don't know how this works. So in this repeat, for example, we have 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet stitches. That's 3 in total. 3 times the original number is 6, makes 18. If you ever have a pattern where it doesn't say, that's how you calculate this, okay? So let me finish this round, and then I believe we have a few more rounds of increases, but I'm just going to do one more so that way you can see the pattern appear, okay? It's really easy. Trust me. I know you can do this. And again, if you don't want to make a snowman, you don't have to make a snowman. This snowman happened to be a ornament in the past. I just cut off the little ornament snippet on the top. This used to be an ornament. The same is true for the wreath. That used to be an ornament. In fact, I'm even going to go back into the pattern. I'm going to add some of the video links from this live crochet along into the ornament ebook. So that way, for those who need it, they can reference that. Okay, so once you're done with round 3, you're going to go into the next round. We'll do one more round together, and that way you can see how this works. Okay, so this will be 1 single crochet in 2 stitches now. So in the previous round, it was 1 stitch and then an increase. Now it's 2 stitches, then an increase, okay? So obviously the following round is going to be then 1 single crochet in 3 stitches and an increase. I'm going to stop after this round, and so that way you can just at least see how this looks like, even though this is a slightly smaller version, right? And then I'll talk about the decrease part of it really quick. And I'm going to hop into the comments here for a second. So Karen says the snowman head would be nice for a cute stress ball. I agree on that part. I do need to make a snowman stress ball. That would be fun. That would be really, really fun. Okay, and then John says, am I saying your name right, John? Hopefully I am. Usually John has an H, so I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly. John says, connected by Zoom to a relative, and she's loving all the things Nikki, especially in how-to videos to do. That is awesome. Who did you connect with? Is that person following me? Is that how she knows about me, or is that because of you telling her about me? That is so cool. I love connecting with someone on Zoom, especially family or friends that are further, or like, you know, far away, or by FaceTime or something like that. I love doing that because, you know, we live in a world, we luckily have social media and digital ways of connecting with someone, to see someone, right? So it can be hard sometimes to see your friends and family. So I get that. So having those technologies available to you is very beneficial, especially for us crocheters when we crochet alone. We don't want to crochet alone, right? So, okay. So anyways, for the snowman body, you would do technically one more round. Let me confirm that it's just one more round. Yep, it would be one more round of increases, same style. It would be just 1 single crochet in 3 stitches, then an increase. Okay, so I'm just going to stop at this point because I want to show you how to do the decreasing part of it. Okay, so if you're finishing exactly how it says, then you would do 2 additional rounds of just 1 single crochet per stitch. You could technically do a little bit more if you want your snowball to be a little fatter. You can. I just did 2 additional rounds after round 5, so this will be until round 7. Okay, now row 8 would be then 1 single crochet in 3 stitches and then a decrease. Okay, and then I'm just going to show you how to do the decrease from my version. That would be round 9. I'm going to show you. Okay, so round 9 would be 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and then a decrease. So let me show you how to do the decrease. I like to do, for anything in rounds, I like to do the invisible way. That way it's not so obvious. So here's how you do the invisible way. You look at the 2 stitches you're going to decrease. You're going to go through the front loops of both. You literally are pushing your hook through both front loops together, and then you're going to do a yarn over and pull through, and then you're just going to finish it up like a regular single crochet stitch. So that makes it invisible. It's not so clunky, it doesn't have those weird gaps, and it's much easier, in my opinion, to hide it, right? So then you would just repeat this. So 1 single crochet and 2 stitches. For me, remember this is round 9. Round 8 is the same, just with 1 single crochet and 3 stitches, right? And then so you, for the decreasing part of it, you're just going to go through 2 front loops, yarn over, pull through, right, like this, and then yarn over, pull through. So that's the decreasing part of it. And then you're going to do 1 more round of decreases for round 10. Actually, it's 2 more rounds, excuse me. So it's round 10 would be 1 single crochet and then the decrease, same way. And then round 11 is just decreases. Now, before you get to that point, you want to stuff it a little bit. And when you did the last round, all you have to do is close up the hole and you're good to go. And you're done with that part. Then all you have to do is sew it on or glue it on. It's up to you. I sewed it on and added my decorations and my little scarf. Let's talk about the hat part of it, because that could be confusing for some. It's not, but I'm going to guide you through it, okay? Especially because it's hard to see because it's all black, but I want to guide you through the hat part. Okay, let's see. Are there any questions? Hi, Teresa from Facebook. Let's see. John says, because of me telling her, my niece who lives 6 hours away. Oh, that's amazing. Claudia says, I shared about Nikki, so I got materials from the Dollar Tree, and the cashier said she crochets too. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. And Linda says, I'm back. Yay, my great grandkids showed up, so I'll watch this later. That's okay. All good. And she connected with Maxine and Nancy. I am so happy for y'all. I am so happy. Okay, so let me talk about the hat now, okay? And if there's any questions about the hat, you will let me know. So let me reference the hat for a second. I'm going to rip it back out until round 2, okay? Because that would be the part where you're starting to do something different, okay? So let me look where round 2 ends. It would be right here. So I'm going to grab my stitch marker and I'm going to pull it through. Don't worry, I'll get you through it, okay? I'm just going to pull it back up. Then we get to exactly that point, so don't have to redo it all and you're just going to get bored, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, hang on, I'm just going to pull it like this. Okay, there we go. So for the hat part of it, it would be the magic ring, chain of 1, just to hold the magic ring in place, does not count as a stitch. 6 single crochets in the ring, okay? Then you go into the next round and it's going to be 2 single crochet stitches per stitch. Same as we just did, okay? So this is how far. Now for round, let's see, 3, you're going to go into the back loop only. So let me show you this part, okay? So you're going to do 1 single crochet per stitch in the back loop only. So let's do the, let's talk about the different loops really quickly. I want to talk about 3 different ones, even though you're only using 1 of them, okay? So you have here your little V's, right? Those are your stitches. This would be the front loop, the back loop, and I want to show you one more because it's important, and it's the one right behind it. Do you see that loop right behind it? That one is considered the 3rd loop behind the V. Yes, it's a long name, but it's literally telling you where it is. So if you count here, 1, 2, 3, it's the 3rd loop, and it's behind the V. Do you see the V? The V is the front and the back loop together. That's the V. Okay, so front loop, back loop, together it's the V, and then you have the 3rd loop behind the V. Are we good? Just want to explain that to you just in case you need to know. But we are just using the back loop at this point for this specific round, which is round 3 for the hat. So we're just going to go into each back loop and we're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch, okay, all the way around. By the way, I'm very curious. What do you consider yourself as a crocheter? Are you more considered a beginner, intermediate, or advanced / experienced? What do you consider yourself? You could even say advanced beginner if you feel like I'm not intermediate yet, but I'm more like an advanced beginner. You tell me whatever you feel like you tell yourself you are. Tell me, what kind of crocheter do you consider yourself? Remember, no one gets to judge you. You decided on your own, okay? So anyways, once you're done with round 3, while you are typing that part up, I'm going to go into the next round, which would be rounds 4 and 5. I'm going to just crochet this real quick so you can see how this looks like. Okay, so crochet 4 and 5 together, and that will be 1 single crochet per stitch. Since it's a small piece, I'm just going to do it all together with you. So rounds 4 and 5 are just single crochet stitches, 1 single crochet per stitch. All right, so let's see. Nancy says, I appreciate how Nikki explains the patterns. I love Nikki's ebooks too. Thank you, Nancy. Lori says she considers herself an advanced crocheter. Good. Karen says intermediate. Elaine says advanced experienced. Ooh, I like to hear that. Now, in that case, Elaine, I would love to know what kind of patterns you have made to consider yourself that. You must have done some really fancy ones. John says intermediate. Tracy says intermediate. That's awesome. Karen says advanced. I like to hear that. Barbara says intermediate. Deborah says advanced beginner. Hang on, I'm trying to do my stitch here and it keeps getting stuck. Paula says intermediate. Deborah, advanced beginner. Did I say that already? Carol, advanced. Claudia, intermediate. Martha, intermediate. And Nancy says beginner. All good. You're good. I'm glad. This is a nice range. I actually thought it's going to be a lot more beginners, but I like to hear that range. Very good. Rachel says advanced beginner and Jennifer says beginner. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now the next thing, my next question is, if you guys don't have a question for me, I'm going to ask you some questions. Let's keep it fun, right? What is a project you always wanted to do? Considering your own level of experience, what is a project or stitch or technique that you haven't attempted yet, but you want to? Let me know. I would love to know. I'm curious. I'm a curious crochet cookie. In the meantime, I'm going to teach you the next stitch, the next round, which is round 6. Round 6 is 1 single crochet in 1 stitch, yes, and then 2 single crochet stitches after that. So we are now doing the brim part of the hat, okay? So 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. By the way, if you want the brim to be a little bit more pointy outward, I would recommend, instead of going through both loops, just the front loop. Now I went through both, but you could just go through the front loop to make it a little bit more straight and pointy. Okay, so that's something you could do. You know what, I'm gonna actually do that so I can show you how it looks like, and you know, reference my black version so you have a difference. Okay, let me actually do that. This will be only for 1 round. We're doing in the front loop only. Okay, this is like a little change from the actual original patterns, just so you can see the difference. Okay, so what I'm still doing is the same pattern, just in the front loop only, is 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. I'm just gonna do this for round, which one was this? 6, right? Yes, 6. Okay, 1 single crochet stitch, then 2 single crochet stitches. Again, 1 and then 2, and you're going to start seeing that it's pointing out a little bit more. So if you prefer that look of it, then I recommend you do that. This will be only for round 6, going in a front loop only. Don't worry, you can't see that part in the end because the back loop is on the inside, but you can start seeing it kind of point out a little bit faster. Okay, so let's see. Donna says a sunflower granny square cardigan. Ooh, that sounds fun. Lori says a lacy crochet dress. I kind of want to do that at some point too, but I'm so impatient to do big projects, so I don't know if I could attempt it. Let's see. Martha says I attempted Tunisian. Ooh, that one is fun. Okay, let's go to the next round here real quick while you're still typing. Okay, next round is the last round. You're going to do through both loops in this case. 1 single crochet in 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet stitches after that. Okay, so 1 single crochet in 2 stitches, and then it's 2 single crochet stitches after that. So you literally do this all the way around, and you kind of start seeing your hat kind of appear, which is really, really neat. I really like this cute little hat here. All right, I got to make sure I'm doing my stitches right. So I'm going to check the comment section in just a second. So let me finish my hat here. I'm going to try to go faster without touching my desk. Let's see how I'm doing with this part. Because the desk moves when I put my arms down, and I'm floating them right now. Oh, I'm going to get neck pain later. I can tell you that already. That's okay. I'm going to go through the pain to show you. All right, so this is how it looks like. Look how cute this little hat is. So when you do it in a way that I just mentioned where there's back loops left over, this can actually help you sew it on unless you just glue it on. I think I just glued it on because it's an ornament. You're not wearing it. It's okay. You can just glue it on. But this is how it looks like. So the hat is actually a little less, do you see how this one, I don't know if you can tell actually. This one bends up a little bit more, and then this one is a little bit more flat. So that's the difference. Whoopsie daisy. This is the difference between round 6 going through both loops or just the front loop. Okay, so this one went through the front loop only for round 6, and then this one went through both. So you can kind of see a little bit of a difference. Okay, so this one is a little bit more flat laying. So maybe I recommend doing that. Okay, if you want it a little bit more flat. It's cute and adorable. Okay, let me cut this. Let's see. John says, I got the membership, so I can't wait to try the videos here. Yay! Let's go, John. I'm so happy for you. Oh, I'm so happy you joined TCC. Oh, it's going to be so much fun to have you in TCC. Check out the vault. There are so many patterns in there. And if you have any questions, let me know. But I did add a little tour. So if you need like a little guidance or anything, let me know. Okay. Tracy says, are there different types of Tunisian stitches? Yes, girl. It's a whole nother world out there. Yes, there's a lot of Tunisian crochet stitches. Not as many Tunisian crochet stitches as regular, but yes, there's a lot. There's a lot. Elaine says she wants to do a custom Afghan. Ooh, that's going to be fun too. Yes. Okay, so now we finished the snowman part. So let's guide you through it again. A little reminder before we hop over to the picture frame. Okay, so once you have the hat, the face done and decorated, you add your hat to the top. You put your scarf around it after you added your little big actually snowball. This is how it looks like on the back, right? And you decorate it however you like, and you can even add a different tea light in here. I added a white one. You could add a red one. There's even a blue one and a green one, whatever. I personally think either a white one that has like a, let's say, yellowish orange light, or you add the red one, which you can see blinking here behind me, right? Those are the typical ones I like to use. So the red one would also work because you guys know that a snowman has a carrot. So the carrot can either tend towards the reddish frame, the reddish colors, or more the yellowish colors, right? So either way, you pick whichever one you want, unless you just want to add a regular carrot, okay? Anyways, we're done with the snowman. Let's start with the picture frame. So I'm going to pull that up. Where's my picture frame? Whoopsie daisy. Just have to check where the picture. Here we go. Found it. Okay, so we're going to do the picture frame first. We're going to do one version of that, and it's the same pattern, just the colors are flipped, okay? So I'm going to show you everything in gray. So besides the embroidery part, I'm going to do that in a different color. That way you can actually see it, right? Okay, so let's see. We're going to start with one of the picture frames. So we're going to do, let me check real quick here so that I can see what we're doing. I think we started with the frame. I'm just checking here real quick. Chain 8, single crochet stitch, 1 single crochet and turn. Okay, so wait a second, something is off. Let me look at my picture frame here for a second. Oh yes, I was like, wait, did I start from the center out? No, I did it in rows. I had to double check for a second. How did I do it? Okay, we did it in rows. So I'm just going to show you how to do it a little bit smaller maybe. Or maybe I'll do all 8. How many rounds is it? 9. I can do 9 rows. It's fine. Okay, you're going to start with a chain of, what does it say? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so 8 chains. Then you're going to start from the second chain from the hook. I like to go in a back bump, but you're not required to. You're not going to see that later because you're going to add a frame to the top of it. So nobody's going to see it in case you go into the back loop. It's fine. I like to go the back bump because I'm used to it. Just, I always want to make sure it looks pretty no matter what. So I just go into the back bump. I didn't write it down that way, but I just prefer it that way. And I do it like that in general. As long as you go into your chain, you're good. So you can see that you have 7 stitches per row. Now you're going to do 9 rows in total. Okay. So I have 1 done. That means I have 8 more to go. Since I want to show you how to do the embroidery part of it, I have to finish this one. So let's do that part together. Okay. If you guys have any questions for me, this would be your perfect opportunity to ask me some questions now that you guys answered some of mine. So are there any questions from you to me? Is there something that is stumbling you still in terms of the gingerbread dollhouse? Is there anything you feel like you need a little help on? Anything that kind of, feel like, I'm not quite sure if I'm good on that part. And don't be afraid. Nobody's judging you about your questions. I just want you to ask it. Okay. No judgment here. This is a judgment-free zone. We answer everyone, equally. So no matter what kind of question you have, I will answer it for you. Okay. So go ahead and ask me a question. I'm here for you. Let's see. Carol says you could paint. You could paint the light a little orange. Yes, you could totally do that. I didn't want to mess with that part, but yeah, you could totally do it. You can even add a little, let me call them freckles to it, right? Because the carrots sometimes have like some little brown, blackish spots around. You could even add those. Let's call them freckles for now, okay? You could even add any of those if you wanted to. The parts where technically the roots are of the root. I know the carrot is a root, but it has sometimes stuff hanging off, right? But you get what I'm saying. You could kind of add a little freckles to it if you wanted to. All right. Tracy says, I need help on time. Sorry, that part I can't give you, really. I mean, technically, yes, I can, in a way of saying you can ignore the giveaway part of it if you don't want to be part of that one. In that case, you have the most time you decide to have, okay? Like, you are in control of the time if you don't be part of the giveaway. Otherwise, I think you just make it however you like. You relax, you enjoy the process because it's supposed to be fun and not stressful. Crochet is supposed to be fun and enjoyable. So however you want to do it, you do it, okay? So besides time, does anyone have any other questions? I'm going to count my rows here for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yay! One more than I have 9. Okay, 1 more. That's how far you're going to go for the picture frames if you want to do it. And I'm splitting my yarn here. Nikki, what are you doing? Okay, let's do that again. There we go. You can be very creative when you're on your own time, okay? So you let your creativity go wild in terms of the gingerbread house. Remember when you were little and you bought the gingerbread house kits, right? The one with candy and all? You were creative in that one too. So you get to do the same thing here in crochet, just with yarn, right? Even better. Anyways, yes, you can totally add a cat bed into your gingerbread doll house. Kelly, I totally agree. Okay, so this part is done now. So I'm just going to snippity snip this. Obviously, you would, sew in and weave in your ends here. I'm just going to let it dangle around right now. Okay, so let's do the frame for a second, and then we're going to add the embroidery. Okay, so let me show you how to do the frame. So for the frame, you're going to do a chain of 32. Okay, what I like to do is I'm making 5 chains, like so, like 5 chains, and then I'll take my hook out and insert it into the very first chain. I like to go in the back bump as before, okay, and then I'm making sure that my chains are straight. I'm going to reinsert my loop to my hook like so. Do you see how it's straight? Well, it's in a curve right now, but it's not twisted, if that makes sense, right? And now you're going to add your other chains and ignore that it's hanging, that the very first one is hanging on your hook. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now let's count the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 and 2. Yes, that's how I count 32. Anyways, there we go. We have 32. Now what you're doing is you pull that loop through the first stitch. right? So just pull it through. And now you're going back into the last chain that you made. Therefore, not skipping any chains, okay? You're literally just working your way backwards now. So that means when you have 32 chains right here, you're keeping 32 stitches. Does that make sense? You're not skipping a chain or anything. You're keeping the 32. So what we're going to do is you're going to crochet 3 single crochet stitches in the first one. So this is like similar to the triangles we've done, not triangles, rectangles. So 3 single crochet stitches. Now it's going to be 1 single crochet in 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, that's a long 4. 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches again. By the way, you could replace the 3 single crochet stitches with 1 chain of 1 and 1, as long as it's 3 stitches. Okay, so the middle one could be replaced with a chain if you wanted to. Am I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, I'm in the third. Yes, 1, 2, and 3. So there we go, my 3 stitches. I apologize, I have yarn sniffles. Sometimes the light is a little bit sensitive to my nose. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Some kind of gene thing, but it's the yarn sniffles. Anyways, so we're going to crochet now 1 single crochet in 8 stitches. So 1 per stitch. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then it's 3 single crochet stitches in the next one. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go into the comment section in just a second. Just want to finish my frame because otherwise I will miscount. Okay, so let's go and do the 6 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so remember, I want to remind you, this is the frame. So here I'm going into the back bump, even though it takes a little longer, because this is the part that's going to be visible. I want it to look pretty. So yes, I'm going into the back bump instead of the back loop because I want to make sure it looks pretty. That way, the inside of your frame has V's and the outside has V's, making it look really pretty. Okay, anyways, then I made my 3 single crochet stitches and then it should be 8 stitches left. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet here per stitch until the end. Then you're going to make a slip stitch. I like to do the invisible slip stitch. That way it's kind of hidden and it's not so visible. You can also do the invisible join. Either way, okay? Join would be done with a tapestry needle. Invisible slip stitch is done with your hook. So you would obviously go with the invisible slip stitch. You take your hook out, go from the back to the front, through the first stitch, you pull that loop back, and then I like to just make another slip knot here. Let me snip that off so you can see how that looks like in the end. So you pull that through, let's see, whoop, and see now the knot is on the back and you can't see it. Obviously this part has to be woven in. And then what you're going to do is you simply sew it or glue it. It's up to you. After you weave in all your ends, you simply glue it or sew it on. Okay, makes sense? All right, let me go into the comments here for a section. I'm sure there was a question that I missed. Tracy says, can you come to my house in Michigan for a week or 2? Lots of yarn to thread here. That would be fun. You can come to me. I have a lot of yarn too. I have better weather. Does that help? Anyways, Donna says, I hope your husband is doing better. Oh, I'm sorry, Barbara. I hope he is doing better. Okay, let's see. Karen says, by the way, the ceiling of the fireplace is called the lindel. No way! Thank you for looking that up. I did not know that. Thank you for letting us know. I really did not know that. That's a really interesting name. Lindel. Really? People actually call that a lindel? Well, I've never heard anyone say that. But even if I would say that, I don't think you would know what that means. But that's okay. I'm just going to keep calling it the ceiling of the fireplace. But who knows? When am I going to make another fireplace? Okay, so let me get another yarn here. Let me take pink. Okay, we used pink last time. Might as well use pink this time. Now, I know a tree is not pink, but you got to see how it looks like, okay? So I'm using pink so you can see it. Okay, so where's my needle? Ooh, my needle disappeared. I had a tapestry needle here. No, my my tapestry needle is gone. That's okay. I'll use a different one. Darn it. Okay. So, by the way, you could even, little hint on the side, if you wanted to, okay, you could put a picture in here. Okay, if you want to have maybe a family picture, a cat picture, dog picture, you can put it in here, right? You don't have to put embroidery on if you don't want to. Put a picture on it. I'm just going to show it to you. If anyone wants a link, you let me know. I have a portable printer, okay, that makes teeny tiny pictures, like 2 times 3 inches, okay? If anyone wants a link of one of these guys, these are really handy to have, especially if you do journaling. These are like thermal printers. You don't need any ink for it. You just need the paper inside, the photo printer paper, right? If you need a link for that, will you please email me and I'll send you a link for this guy. And that way you can print out your own little images that fit right in here, okay? That way you don't have to embroider anything. It's up to you. Okay, it's up to you. But in this case, I'm just going to show you how to do the embroidery part of it. Okay, so obviously I usually do the frame first, but in this case, I'm going to take it off right now because it's not attached. So let me show you how to do a little, tree thing if you want to do it. Okay, so you're going to go in on one side. Okay, wherever you want to add it. As I said, usually I add my frame first, then I sew this on. That way I have a better reference point where to start. Then you're going to go over, okay, like so. So you have one line, okay? Now you're going to go a little bit up on that same spot, but just a hint inwards, okay? So right now I'm on the left side, so I'm going up and just a hint over. Just a hint. So the idea is to make it into a zigzag that gets smaller and smaller as you get higher. Okay. How far away you want it to be is up to you. You can do it every row. You can do it further away. Now you're going to, what I like to go is then go back down. You can make it just lines if you wanted to, but I like to go back down here to the original, right? And then I'm just going to go back up and over, do the same thing over here, right? So up and over. Right? And now I go back over here where I came from this one. Then again, up and just a hint over like this. Okay, so let's go over. Ooh, that's the same line. So go over just like that. Right? So that way it turns into a zigzag tree, if that makes sense. Okay, now again, I'm going back where I came from on the other side. Then again, up and a hint over. Just a hint. They don't have to be perfect. It's just not every tree looks the same either, right? Right here again, same thing. Go back over to this side, up and just a hint over. Okay. Are there any questions about the tree so far? You let me know. Okay. It's super easy to make this one. Ooh, hold on, my hook is in the way. Okay. Now again, down here to this one, and then over here, I'm just going to go to the center right now. So that way, this is going to be the tippy top. Okay, like this. And then what I like to do is add another extra top to it, like so. So I'm going back over here and then going over to the center. And then you can leave it as a dot if you wanted to, or just go back down. So do you see how they're all connected? And now it looks like a cute little tree. Ta-da! So if I would put my frame on it, this is how it would look like. So technically, I like to add my frame first, so that way I'm not too low on this one or too high. So usually I add my frame first and then add my embroidery on it. Are there any questions about this one? Tracy says the gray and pink look good together. I kind of agree. It kind of looks cute. It's a very interesting version. It fits with my little teddy bear. Maybe that's going to be his picture frame, right? Anyways, it's adorable. It's cute. Okay. Are there any more questions about this one? I then glued it on, so it doesn't matter what it looks like in the back, right? I just then glued it onto the wall of my gingerbread house, and it was all good. John, you need to email me about this because I can't do it on the chat. I'm going to show you my email address later, John. Will you please email me so I can give you the link of the thermal printer? Please, pretty please email me. If anyone has my email address memorized, put it in a chat. I can't do it in the meantime, but I will show it on the camera later. So no worries about that. Okay. So just remind me later when I'm in a different screen, then I'll show you. Then I'll show my email address. But it is either support or Nicole, either way, at nikkishomemade.com. That's my email address. So email me. Okay, let's do the very last one, which is that chair. Okay, I'm only going to show you part of the chair, which is here, the beginning part of it. I just want to show you how to do this part because I feel like that's the hardest part. These are super easy. Super duper easy, okay? So I'm going to guide you through these ones too. I'll probably just show you one example of this one so you know how to do this. And I do want to make you aware that I didn't add any plastic canvas here on the bottom because I wanted my chair to be a rocking chair, as you can see right here, okay? Mine is a rocking chair, so mine is rounded on the bottom. If you want yours to stand up straight, put a plastic canvas on the inside right here, or after the fact, right? Nobody's gonna see it once it stands. You could even put it after the fact, like on top of the crochet if you want, that way it's straight, or you put it on the inside before you sew it up. It's up to you. So if you don't want it to move around, you know, like a rocking chair, then you need to have some kind of flat surface on the bottom. Little hint on the side there, okay? Also, don't overstuff these, okay? Because if this hangs back, it automatically will fall. Do you see that? So you need to make sure you're not overstuffing it, so that way when you then put it down, it actually sits. See, like that. But if you push this down back a little bit, it'll fall. Do you see that? It's all about the weight distribution. Okay, so don't add it too far to the back. Otherwise, it will, you know, literally fall back. So just a little tip on this side. John says she has it. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, yes, please email me. I'll send you the link. This is actually very affordable. At least for a printer, it's extremely affordable. And I love it. I use it all the time. Okay, so let's go to the chair. Do I have my chair pulled up? Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the chair. It's the very last one we're going to crochet on camera together. The rest of it I will guide you through verbally, okay? Because you have video tutorials for the rest of the parts. Okay, so we're going to start with a chain of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now you're going to start from the second chain from the hook. Again, I like to go in a back bump. Okay, crochet 1 single crochet per stitch or chain, however you want to call it. Again, I like to go in a back bump because it is easier that way to see later where to go into. So because once we make our little square, which is the seat part of it, then we're going to go around it and crochet around in rounds. Yes, that sounded weird, but that's exactly what we're doing. So once you have that done, you're going to do, let me see how many rows additionally. Until row 8, we're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. So let's do that. So this is row 2. So 1 single crochet per stitch. Are there any more questions for me? This is your chance to ask questions. Let me know. Doobie doobie doop. Let me know if you have any questions. In the meantime, you guys can tell me which parts are you going to crochet for the gingerbread house for yourself and which parts are you skipping. It's totally fine to skip. I'm not going to judge you or be disappointed or anything. I won't take it personally. Just tell me which parts are you going to crochet and which parts are you going to skip in terms of the gingerbread house. Or are you going to add anything else crochet to it that I didn't give you a pattern for this specific pattern? I will love to know. Okay, Maxine says, yay, my house is glued together. Yes, Maxine, I'm so happy for you. Let's go. Please share a picture later with us. We would love to see it, right? You can inspire others. Oh, I can't wait to see all your houses come together. You have no idea that feeling that I have when I see you guys using my patterns to create something on your own. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that makes me happy. It's the best feeling in the world when I can see other crocheters say, oh, I am willing to take my time out of my day to crochet that same thing that this other person created. In that case, it would be me, right? So you guys are using my patterns and then showing off your creations is the best feeling in the world. I sure hope you have that same feeling when you show it off. Be proud of yourself. Okay. So let me see how far I've went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have one more to go. This is row 8. Let's see. Barbara says, can you glue the house instead of sew? I think what she's talking about is the wood part. Maxine glued, or her husband, I think, glued the wood parts together. So now she can add your crochet together. I had plastic canvas and I sewed my pieces together after. Okay, so all my walls, where's my hand? All my walls are sewn together with the same yarn I used for the crochet part. So yes, I sewed mine. You do however you like. There's probably going to be parts that you can sew, and then there's parts you're going to glue, right? You do however you like for your house. Okay, so I have my 8 now, so I can now go in rounds. So that's the part I want to show you, okay? The part is super duper cool. Claudia says the rocking chair is so adorable. I know, right? It turned out so cute. I can't wait to see your guys' rocking chairs. Okay, so now let's go in rounds. So it specifically says now that you're going to do 1 row per stitch, row or stitch per stitch. That sounds a little weird, but you know what I mean once I do it. Okay, so let me show you. Including the corners, you're not doing 3 single crochets in the corners. You're not expanding out. You're now going into the depth of your chair, if that makes sense. So you're doing now 1 single crochet per stitch all the way around, in a round. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you. So I'm literally just crocheting 1 single crochet per stitch, including the rows now. So I did 1 over here, so now I need to go into the next row over here, right? And then here, so you're picking up a stitch per row. So let me show you. This is 1 row, this is 1 row, this is 1 row. So you're just picking up a stitch here on the edge of every row, right? Just make sure when you do the last one, you're not doing 2 stitches right there. You're doing 1. So be careful on that part. Otherwise, it's going to be too rounded, and you don't want to do that. So let me check here. This will be 1 stitch over here. And now I'm going to go over here and crochet the rest of it. So I'm literally, and you can start seeing how it bends down, and that's kind of what you want. Okay, Lori says, I'm crocheting the gingerbread people, the wreath, the snowman. I'm not crocheting the fireplace, floors, ceiling. I'm using the wood for the floor, ceiling. Perfect. I love to see that. And I ordered the fireplace from Michael's. Perfect. Oh, I can't wait to see it in the end. Maxine says, I'm going to crochet the gingerbread people, the wreath, the chair, the teddy, and a wreath again. I guess 2 wreath. And I bought the fireplace. Yes, I am so happy. And then Karen says, I haven't decided on much to crochet, but my granddaughter says it's her house of wobbles. Of woobles. Is it woobles? It's woobles, I think. Oh my gosh. Does she have some of those amigurumi pieces? Ooh, this is so fun. She's going to play with that. I can tell you, if you are making it for a child, I highly recommend using the wood instead of the plastic canvas. It's going to be a little bit sturdier and last longer. And it's going to be more durable that way. Okay. So anyway, so once you're all the way around, you're now going to continue. Ooh, that was a bubble in my throat. You're now going to continue crocheting 1 single crochet per stitch all the way until the end. Okay, so the end would be, let me check, round 6 would be the end. Okay, so you're literally just crocheting 1 single crochet per stitch. So I'm going to skip that part right now. I'm just going to show you how to do the decreasing part of it. Okay, so you're now going to have some decreases for round 7 and 8, and they're going to be the same. So what you're going to do is, and I'm just going to go onto this corner so I can show you the decreasing part of it. So once you're done with round 6, you're going to go into round 7 and 8, right? So round 7 and 8, every time you hit a corner, so if you're a little bit off in terms of stitch count, it should be in the corner. Your decrease should be 3 single crochet together in these corners. Otherwise, it's going to be off looking. You want it to look like a cubicle of some sort, or a rectangular cube. You know what I mean. So right here, you can see I'm in a corner now, right? So I'm going to take 3 of those single crochet stitches, and I'm going to pull up loops. I'm going to do the regular way. 3 pulled up, yarn over and pull through. That's your decrease. You're doing them in the corners. The rest of it is going to be 1 single crochet per stitch. Okay, so if you don't want to count, that's fine. Do it by look. It's probably going to be easier that way because your tension might be different than mine. So again, right here, I'm in a corner again. I'm going to take the 3 corner stitches and I'm going to combine them into 1. Do you see that? Like so. And then combine it. Now, little tip on the side. If you don't want to do the decreasing part of it and you want the top to look the same as the bottom, just repeat what you did in the very beginning and just sew it onto the bottom. It's probably going to make it more flat anyways. So if you don't want to round it, just make this piece again and sew it onto the bottom. Sounds good? That way you don't have to do any decreasing parts. Totally fine, okay? Just going to show you here one more time. If you are doing the decreasing parts, you're just doing it in the corners, right? And that's just 2 rounds of that together, and you're decreasing them together. And you can start seeing how it's kind of going inward at this point, right? So that's what you would be doing. Is there any questions about this? Again, there's 2 ways to do it. Follow the pattern to a T, the way I wrote it. Or if you want it a little bit more flatter on the bottom, redo what you did on the top. Do you see that top one where we did it in rows? Then you're just going to sew it onto the bottom. In that case, you can even add plastic canvas on the inside to make sure it stays straight. And then you just sew it on. That might be better. It might not turn it into a rocking chair, but it will turn it into a chair that will stand. Are there questions about that? Let me know. Okay, let me see. Was there another question I'm missing here? Karen says, I live in a senior community and I'm going to take it over to our crochet and our clubhouse to show it off once I get it done. They're going to love it. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing too much decorating though. That's fine. It's for my 8-year-old granddaughter. Let her decorate it. Let her decorate it. That would be fun. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for her. I don't know what I'm crocheting yet, but I'm thinking about crocheting Santa from the Ornaments ebook. Let's go. That would be cool. Oh my gosh. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Was there another one? Okay, I'm good now. So, are there questions about this one? I'm just going to show you one of the cushions right now on how to get started on the cushions. Okay, so the only difference between the cushions, these 2 are the same. Okay, but it's done the same way, just that this one has more chains in the beginning, but the style is the same. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to do the bigger one, the backrest of it, because it has more chains and it's easier to see. Okay, so we're going to make a chain of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you start from the second chain from the hook and you're going to crochet 1 single crochet per stitch into the back bump only. It's going to make it easier. Trust me. Go in a back bump and crochet 1 single crochet per stitch. Then you're going to do an 180-degree turn. You're not adding another stitch to the very last chain. You're going to do a 180-degree turn, so you're now working on the opposite side of your chain. So this was the way you just did it, right? Now you're going to turn it and you're going to crochet on the opposite side, okay? But remember, you're still just doing 1 stitch per stitch, okay? So here it would be 1 stitch on the bottom, okay? So therefore it's in there again. You can just do 1 there if you want. You can do 2. And then over here, the rest of it is just 1 stitch per stitch. So usually I skip that one, but I'm just going to do it right now so you can see how it looks like. So 1 stitch per stitch. There's no increases or decreases here, right? So 1 stitch per stitch until the end. Literally, I'm kind of weaving in my yarn end here at the same time. Whoops, my hook got stuck. There we go. So this will be round 1 done. Do you see that? We first did 1 row and then we turned it into a round. So now you're going to have, for this guy specifically, you should have 12 stitches right here, right? Started with a chain of 7, start from the second chain from the hook. That means there were 6 stitches made on that one side. Now you did 6 more on the other side of the chain. So now you're in a round. So now all you're doing is adding 1 single crochet per stitch every single round. For the back rest, you're going onto round 9. You're stuffing it mildly, don't overstuff, and then you just sew close the end. Okay, so when I say sew close the end, you're literally just going in and out. Which one is it? This one. Like in, out, in, out, in, out in a zigzag, right? You just close it together. Now the arm rests are done the same way, just with less chains. The arm rests are chain of 4 instead of 7. Right? And then you are doing 6 rows or rounds in total. That's the only difference on that one. Then this one and this one, I didn't stuff. Little hint on the side. I did not stuff the arm rests, okay? I didn't want to overstuff it. It looked weird. So I just stuffed this guy. I probably should have added a little less on it because, you know, I need to make sure it's not bending backwards so it doesn't fall. Okay, so let's see. Karen says, not the fancy foundation. No, you don't have to. You can. But in this case, it is not necessary. The reason I use the fancy, what you call the fancy foundation or the I-cord, that is for the pieces where it's obvious it can be seen, right? So for the table, you can see it. For the fireplace, you can see it, right? And for this guy, you don't see it. It's on the side. It's hidden, right? You don't see it. So in this case, no, I did not use it because it wasn't really important. I only use that foundation one when it's important. You can use it for this. I ain't gonna stop you. But for my case, I didn't use it because I didn't think it was necessary. All right. Are there any more questions? I'm gonna show you the other pieces real quick, or at least the gingerbread man and woman. So we're done with the crocheting part here. Okay. So let me show you my gingerbread people right here. This is how my gingerbread people look like. Okay, my eye is a little off here because it fell down. Okay, so the only difference between these two is one thing, not the decorating part of it, but all the other things. Let me show you. So the only difference that I did on this pattern versus this, you have a video tutorial for this guy. The only difference is there's one round right here, this one right here, where I went into, I believe, the back loop only. So yes, there was a front loop left over. Okay, so then all I did is once I'm done, when I was done with the person, I went back to that front loop and I added a little skirt to it. That's all I did on the patterns. The only change I did. Obviously, I added a little bow to it to make sure it looks like a girl, right? And then I added one of the dots as the French knots. I showed you how to do the French knot a couple of videos ago, right? And so I added the French knots for the white pieces and for the red ones, okay? And then these guys, they're just looped around, right? You can see that's just looped around from the inside. I wove it through and looped it around and I added the face. That's the only difference in terms of the people, okay? Are there any more questions about the gingerbread people? Okay, woman, man, you can do it however you want. Any gender you wish. I don't care. Maybe you want to, if you want to make a teeny tiny version, a baby, I would recommend using thinner yarn. This is both of these are done in worsted yarn. If you use this pattern and make it in number 2 yarn, you're going to have a tiny version and it's going to be the baby. If you want a baby, then use thinner yarn. Number 1 or number 2 is what I recommend. If you want a teenager, use number 3 yarn. You get it? Pattern is the same, just change the hook size and the yarn weight, and then you have different size people. Okay, so if you want a teen, I recommend number 3 yarn. If you want a baby, I recommend number 2 yarn. Maxine says, I want a gingerbread dog. Go for it! Make it baby doggy. That would be cool. All right, let me put that back in. Okay, so now let's talk about the decorating part. I'm going to swoop around real quick so we can talk about the rest of it, okay? If you need me to pull this over, I can. I probably will have to hold it and it'll look like a some kind of, how do I explain? The earthquake situation, because again, mine doesn't have wood, mine has plastic canvas, okay? So I don't want to move it too much. But I want to explain a couple of things, and I'm going to use this picture right here, so that way you can see how to decorate it. So first, I added the wreath. You can see the wreath there on the front. I just put it on there. Again, you have a video tutorial for that already. It's for the candy cane. It's just instead of making a candy cane, I made it into a circle using 2 green strips, you know, rolled together around a pipe cleaner. That's, by the way, how it's made, okay? You make 2 spirals, okay? You could just make 1 technically, but 2 looks better that way. It's a little bit more firmer. And you wrap it around a pipe cleaner. Then you connect it together into a circle, and then you have your wreath. Done. You have a video tutorial for that, okay? Then I added the little star. You see the star above the door? I added a star right there. Again, you have a video tutorial for that already. And then what I did is I had some fluffy number 6 yarn, which is like a faux fur yarn type. It's Go for Faux. Go for Faux. Yes, that's what it's called. Go for Faux. That's hard to say. From Lime Brand. And it's white, okay? That's not the color, but it looks white, okay? And I literally just glued it on. Look at this one right here. I glued it on all the way around. Wherever there was an edge, I glued it all the way around. It made it look prettier, in my opinion. It's same as you using the frosting, the sugar frosting, right? And I just went all the way around and added it, okay? So you can see it on these pictures, how literally even the bottom, I added it all the way around as a, like, think of it like a frame of all the edges, right? Now for the roof, I only added it directly onto the brown wall triangle on one of the sides, but from that moving part of it, I used the other side, if that makes sense, right? And I, put it around the actual part. So let me show you. So right here, I added it to this guy. Can you guys see it? I added it to this one, the moving part of it. So that way it's attached to that. But from the other one, I added directly to the triangle part. Okay. Then the rest of it, I just literally decorated however I wanted. I had a bunch of stickers and I had some leftover things that I had from previous years. So I literally just decorated it however I wanted it. I had some teeny tiny candy canes. First, I wanted to crochet them, but then I found these teeny tiny ones in my stash. And I was like, oh, these are perfect. So I put these little candy canes all the way around. They were inside a little ornament that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby. They had these ornaments. They had candy cane inside. I believe they have them this year. I saw it. And I also added, which you can hardly see there, they had also an ornament that had little candies inside that looked like peppermints. Okay. And I added those right here on the top, which you can't see on this one. Because my sign is up there. But they're right there on the top, right? And then I added a bunch of extra stickers, literally all the way around. I also had some, what are they called? I guess candy cane? Like the white and red pipe cleaners. They're pre-spun. The white and red is pre-spun. And I literally put it around the window. You can see it right there. Around the window, you can see it up there too, and around the door as a frame. That is the pipe cleaners that I used. I used candy cane pipe cleaners. I'm calling them candy cane, right? You know what I mean. They're spirally, they're white and red. I literally just put it all the way around, okay? And then that is pretty much it. I also added some little stickers on the inside of my house because I wanted the wallpaper look, even though I didn't use wallpaper. I regret doing that, by the way. I mentioned at the beginning, I regret not using wood and actual paper like craft paper and put it on top. I regret doing that. But as I said, if I ever do it again, I would definitely do that, and I highly recommend you do too. Use wood, put paper on top instead of fabric and plastic canvas. It holds longer too. It's more sturdy, and you're probably going to appreciate it a little bit more. But anyways, and that's pretty much it. Then you decorate it however you like, and that's the part that you can have literally the most creative freedom ever. You do however you want on it and however you want it to look like, okay? Now, let me remind you, we have something big happening tomorrow right here. I put it right here so you can see it. It is our big crochet party, okay? I also need to put up my question for you all. So you need to answer that question, by the way. And since that is here, it's kind of related, okay? First, I want to know how many. This is a number. Unless you want to type it out. Some of you already did. Feel free to do that. You can type out all the patterns you're going to crochet. That's fine. But here, I'm just going to look for the number. Okay, so how many of the 15 patterns are you crocheting? Either write it all out or tell me the number. And will you join us at the big party, which is happening tomorrow, October 6th. Yes, that's tomorrow already, okay? October 6th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. That's going to be our big party. We're going to summarize what we have done in the last few days. We're going to introduce you something more, something big, okay? A big surprise reveal, okay? If you enjoyed these live crochet alongs, you love that community feeling, you love the instant support, you love that you potentially made friends here and you want to do more of that, and you want ad-free content and a lot more additional surprises, and you want to be treated like a VIP, you better show up for this party, right? Plus, we're also going to announce all 12 winners. This is the only place where you're going to see where the 12 winners are going to be announced, by the way. There's not going to be another place where you can find it. So if you want to know if you won, you better show up for this party. In fact, if you show up live, you even have a chance to win additional prizes, okay? So if you only can do the replay, That is one way. I do recommend, if you can't do it with work or whatever, life is in your way, at least watch the replay. But it's way, way better to be there live. As you can see right here, when you're live here, you can ask questions. You can instantly get support. There is so much better. It's a much better experience to be there live. So I highly recommend you join us. And it's going to be so much fun. Oh, we're going to have a blast during the big, big party. Ooh, I am so excited. All right, let's see. Maxine says, I'm doing 6 patterns, including the house. Yes. By the way, I want both of these answers. Both answers. Can you put them both in the same comment so it's easier for me to find? How many patterns, and will you join the big party? If you can, will you please answer both in the same comment, even if you have to retype it? That's fine. But it's easier for me to find whether you did answered the question for every single one of these videos if you put both answers in the same comment. It makes it easier. Let's see. Was there another question that I may have missed? I'm going to go back here for a second. Carrie says, I will be making all the goodies you have with the pattern. When I make this at the end of the month with my mother-in-law, I'm sure we will have few things to add. Carrie, will you please show a picture at the end? I can't wait to see it. Oh my gosh, that will be even more fun when you do it with more than one person at the same time and you guys both decorating it. It's similar to when you were little, right? And you did the gingerbread house with your mama, right? And we all put the candy all around, and then we had candy everywhere, and then we ate the candy, and then we were hyped up, right? That's the same feeling just with crochet. I mean, if you want to snack on candies at the same time, go for it. Halloween is not far, right? I'm sure you have some candies lying around. Not the ones from last year, hopefully. Throw those ones out. That reminds me, I still have a bag in our closet from last year. I need to throw that candy out. That one's bad. We got to get new candy for Halloween. Anyways, looks like you guys are all answering. Deborah, I see your comment. Says comment not showing up. I do see your comment, Deborah. I see it. So go type it. Answer the question right here. And I really, really would love for you to show up for this party because it's going to be so much fun. And here's the thing. I will tell you this. If you invite your crochet besties to join us, even if they were not part of the live crochet along, they should show up because anyone can win. Okay, even if they were not part of the live crochet along, they can win prizes here too. So please tell your crochet besties or family members, whoever crochets and loves yarn, you want them to show up here. Okay, show up together. Okay, ideally with either one has their account. That way we can see more numbers, right? Go have them show up. Let's have fun together. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. All right, looks like most of you guys are going to show up. Woohoo! Oh, okay. So now I'm going to stop talking because you still are busy. You guys have to finish your gingerbread house on time. Your deadline is, if you want to be part of that specific part of the giveaway, to post your pictures on time. However you feel like you finished your gingerbread house, post it by October 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki with that hashtag right there. It's easy to remember, but you can always look back over here. It's also in the pattern. Go finish it now, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Rest of the day of Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow at the big party, and you guys have a brilliant day. Go happy hooking and enjoy the process of making this really awesome gingerbread dollhouse. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.